Alrighty, here we are for round 3, and we, or not 3, excuse me, 2, and we are on the draw with an interesting hand. I think we keep it. It's a little awkward that we only have one color, or that we don't have black. We don't have black, and our hand doesn't really do anything, but we have disruption, removal, etc. So hopefully that will get us there. I'm just gotta turn off some background noise. Okay. So, are they playing Manaless Dredge, or did they F6 and I just... Damn, they're playing... The hell is this? I don't know what that is. And I was about to like, just wasteland it, just to, because whatever it is, it's probably scary, but I'm gonna play Delver instead because I have access to both Daze and Force of Will, so if they want to do something scary, I don't particularly care all that much. Alright, nothing? I can live with nothing. Flip. Flip, indeed. That's good, because that was a card we were going to play this turn pretty much regardless anyway. So now the question is, do I attack before or after I play Wasteland? And I think considering the Daze and Force of Will and all that, we can just attack first. I don't know what this deck is, but seems peculiar. I mean, maybe they're just playing, like, Sneak and Show or something, but... Anywho, let's ponder. Ponder away. Another Wasteland is probably good. Delver is slightly less good. No black, which is important to note. Also, Brainstorm's kind of terrible, but we would... How would we have to arrange these cards? We'd want Delver in hand, and then Brainstorm at bottom. We'd get Wasteland. I guess this is okay. I'm not excited by it, but it's fine. That was pretty much the best thing I could have imagined them doing. So they are probably not going to be long for this world. Because we know that we're flipping our Delver here. And we're stripping away both their lands. Okay! So, we are in the unenviable position of going to game 2, having very little idea of what's going on over there. But being on the draw, we can reliably cut some dazes. The question is, the hell do we bring in? I'm assuming there's some kind of combo deck, because otherwise those lands don't make much sense. But I don't want to get too cute, so Cabal Therapy is a fine include just because, you know, it can theoretically hit anything, so as long as we get a probe in there, we should be fine on that. But otherwise, I have no idea what to bring in. I can't bring in Pyroblast because we only saw red mana from them. But I think I can afford to bring in Flusterstorm. That's a little risky, but, you know, what's the alternative? I could bring in Baleful Strix, which is just not great. Pithing Needle is... meh. Is definitely a card that can do things, and it'll help us see what's in their deck, but I think I'm okay with just running this plan back. Dismember? I don't know if Dismember's going to do anything. I wonder if Surgical is just better than Dismember, because it lets us know what they're up to. But I'm just going to run that back as it is. And if they're not playing a creature deck, then hopefully we just don't draw Dismember. Like, all we've seen from them is a land that I've literally never seen played. Alright, this is a keeper. We're going to dig up blue-black. And then on turn 1, we're going to decide whether or not we want a therapy. And I'm glad that we have a probe force and a probe to actually use. Okay, so they are playing that sort of deck. By that sort of deck, I mean show and tell. Show and tell, sneak attack. Oh, Trinisphere. Yeah, I don't really want to deal with that bullshit, so maybe they are Eldrazi, in which case I'll be glad we kept that Dismember. Our line's pretty straightforward here. Their land, fetch up an Underground Sea. Ataxian Probe. Because regardless of whether we do Therapy or Deathrite, we want Underground Sea. Inferno, Titan through the breach, Trinisphere. Okay, so they're doing that sort of thing. So, what can they do next turn? Next turn they could play a second Trinisphere, which I don't really want them to do. So I can either take Trinisphere or Spirit Guide, but Trinisphere is a better thing to take away. Ooh, Delver. So next turn we can play either Delver Ponder or Delver Deathrite. However, I am going to take their Trinisphere. So I don't want to deal with that. Yeah. So like I said, next turn either Delver Deathrite or Delver Ponder. Or Delver Delver. Interesting, interesting. I think it's either Delver Deathrite or Delver Ponder. Okay, so if I play Delver Ponder, then I get a definite flip off the first Delver. I start attacking for 3 next turn, and then 5 the turn after that. So that's 8 total over the next 2 turns. Whereas if I do Delver Deathrite, I might flip it and get in for 5 immediately, or just get in for 3. I don't think I really want to be activating this Deathrite just yet, though. So I'm going to go Delver Ponder, I think. I'm definitely not worried about that through the breach of theirs. Ooh! Well, Cabal Therapy is a spicy draw. So... This does kind of make things interesting, though. I do sort of want this land turn 3, but we'll do it on the bottom. So we'll do it on the bottom, we'll get Force in our hand. And then we have Therapy on top, so we'll flip the Delver off of Therapy. Then we can play the second Delver, and it won't flip immediately, which is a shame, but it's better to just have access to Force. I've never seen a deck quite like this. I don't think it's very good. It's like mono red, sneak attack through the breach, I'm guessing, but that just doesn't seem like a good archetype. Alternatively, we could also just not play our second Delver. We could just hold it up to Force of Will, which is not a terrible plan. Although we are going to be able to nab through the breach here, so... Also, that's our plan, so we can't do Deathrite. Didn't think about that. So now we can either nab his Through the Breach, which he's 1 mana away from casting, or we can just play, like, Deathrite Pass, because we can't play Delver, because we need to hold up Force of Will. Considering that he doesn't actually have counter magic, I think I'd rather get some pressure on and hold Force of Will as interaction, rather than playing Cabal Therapy immediately. Because it's not like he's going to be able to brainstorm cards away or anything like that. I think we just play Deathrite so that we have this... that we have a 3-turn clock instead of a... however many turns this would be. 5 or... yeah, 5 turn. So this significantly increases our clock. We're still protected by Force of Will, and then we can Therapy next turn, take away his Through the Breach, or whatever is left after his turn goes off. What is this? Oh, he's going to go for Through the Breach now? Yeah, well, I don't really care. Now he's left with 2 cards. So he needs something very specific to actually stop us at this point. Like, he needs to already have a Through the Breach effect. And also draw mana to cast it. What is this? Thought Knot? No. Maybe Reality Smasher? Sneak Attack, okay. So that's gonna be frustrating, for obvious reasons. Wait, this is colorless mana. He doesn't have red. Okay, so he has no red mana. That's a good sign. Play Polluted Delta. Cabal Therapy him. Gonna name Inferno Titan. That's the only card left in his hand that we know about. Oh, it's the only card left in his hand at all. Alright, cool. So now we attack. Did he gain life? No, he lost life. He was at 15, or whatever. Anyway. 3, going down to 8. We're gonna dig up our other underground sea. Now he's gonna go down to 7. No, not 7, excuse me, 6. He's gonna go down to 6, or just concede. Alright, well that was a pretty easy round 2 against a deck that I wouldn't really classify as a real deck. So yeah, we'll see you in the next round.